All right, here we go. Welcome live to Coleman Boulevard in Mount Pleasant as these runners, there they go, off down Coleman Boulevard. 40,000 people a sea just here on Coleman Boulevard. The pictures probably do not do it justice. Incredible. The energy is absolutely amazing as they get off. This is just over a 6-mile race. They will make their way all the way down Coleman Boulevard, over the Ravenel Bridge, and then wind through parts of downtown Charleston, ending at Marion Square. And this is just going to go on for quite some time. It is 8 o'clock here on this Saturday morning. We saw those elite runners at the front. The oldest elite in this group is Rick Banning, 64 years old, from Florida. In the female division, Diane Ford from Piedmont, South Carolina, holds 16 state records, age 62. We're going to send things over to Andrew Bell now. Andrew.
Well, what a start we had to the race, and I can tell you that Ondoro, the two-time champion, is right up at the front of the pack. He's taking no chances. He's stretching out the course now with what feels like quite a fast pace. John Gray, the American, just off his shoulder there, wearing that blue bib. But it's Ondoro. Well, he was the one that we were talking about before the race. He's won it twice. No one has won the Cooper River Bridge Run 3 times, so he's chasing a little bit of history today as we make that first little approach. You know, if you think about this race, it really can be divided into 3 stages. We've got this basically flat stretch up to the foot of the bridge, then that first nasty incline, which so often will split the field and decide who's going to remain at the other side of the bridge, really where the race for many people begins. The real race starts as they get down into the city of Charleston with that 2 miles left to go. The runners coming across Shem Creek now. Wonderful view across to their left. None of them even glanced across. They are focused on the job at hand. And it still is Ondoro there, right in the middle of your frame. He's got those blue shoes on. Just nice and easy, bringing the pack along. And just looking beyond them to the rest of the runners, there's already some good separation to the rest of the pack as Ondoro continues to stride away here. The 29-year-old Kenyan, 2-time defending champion. It looks like Gray is now taking up the running ahead of him as they come across to the left side of Coleman Boulevard. The first marker, the first indication of the pace we'll get is at the 1 mile mark, which for those of you who've run this race will know it's just about the corner of Coleman and Houston Northcutt. So just coming up now. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll be looking for a time somewhere around, well, somewhere below 4 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe 4:20. Remember, this race, no one has managed to crack 28 minutes since we moved to the new course over the Ravenel Bridge. The old bridge was a little bit more. So just a couple of minutes in here, and it's still Ondoro there at the front. The defending stayed out of trouble. It is a bit risky there at the start with that big bunch sprint to get off the front. I was talking to Michael Banks about the strategy yesterday, the elite run coordinator for the Cooper River Bridge Run. He said, you know, it's not that critical the way that you get off. Just stay out of trouble. You could even fall over and potentially you just stay out of trouble and get moving, get into your rhythm, and then focus on the job at hand.
Welcome down to Coleman Boulevard. We have parted. We have parted the humanity. So here we go, the first great elephants. This is the second wave of runners that have started. You had the elite runners, and you had the first wave, and this is the second wave of people, Wave A. And they are moving each wave, each corral up to that starting line. So there's some separation. There's a little bit of time between these runners. As you take a look back, You'll see Wave B now being moved up to the starting line. You got a lot of people lined up at Arts Bar and Grill watching this take place. People on the catwalk above the starting line cheering people on. We received word not long ago, unofficial, that the big celebrity name may be Ben Affleck in town, or maybe just somebody that looks quite a bit like him. We have seen, again, it's hard to pick out like exactly who is here today. I'm going to throw to Alex in a minute, but let's watch this Wave B get going here from down along Coleman Boulevard, because it's quite something as they start. They do have the chip system on their foot. That is the official time. They get them lined up. You see the flag man with his 2 flags down. His flags will be raised. And that next wave of runners, next thousands of people will take off. As I stand here and look down Coleman Boulevard, looking back towards the boulevard, looking back towards Ben Sawyer, I cannot see the last person in line. I see the sea wave of people. I see the walkers all the way back. So just after 8:05 this morning, and we are just getting going as thousands and thousands. So 30 seconds, if you can hang with me for 30 seconds, this next wave of runner will get going. It is quite the sight to see. It is an adrenaline rush for sure. And for the runners alike, they get going, and man, it's like, this is awesome. It is about a little more than a mile before they get to the start of the Cooper River Bridge, and then they've got the run over the bridge. That's the most difficult part. But then once you start to get into downtown Charleston, you think, oh, I'm there. But there's still another 3.5 miles to go. You really do have to pace yourself as we get going here. All right, how about this?
Green wave start B. Hands in the air, you're live on Live.
Hands in the air like you just don't care. The 40th running of the Cooper River Bridge Run. Think about how far it's come in those 40 years. 500 people signed up for the very first one back in 1978. They had 700 official finishers that day, a race that finished up at White Points Golf. So this is what we're experiencing on Coleman Boulevard here in the heart of Mount Pleasant. Right now, here we can, I'd love to stop and talk with somebody, but these are serious runners. These are people that do not want to be stopped. As I said earlier, young, old, black, white, thin, heavy, doesn't matter. Walter Burrow, wait. Walter Burrow in the house? Why are you here?
We wanted to Walter Burrow walking through.
Russian walkover.
Why are you here?
I'm walking in memory of my brother who had cancer. A brother and 2 brothers and a sister.
Y'all have a blast. All right now we're going to turn things over to the batteries. Andrew Bell.
Back live, Klein here, going up the Ravenel Bridge. And I'm just looking at Ondoro, who is still at the front of the field. Ondoro.
Up here at the top of the Ravenel, beautiful day out for this race here. This Saturday morning. We're waiting on these elite runners to come up. We know that there are 5 elite runners from here in South Carolina. The top 3 finishers in the men's category from last year, they're back again this year. Number 1, 2, and 4 in the women's category are back again this year as well. And Ashley told you earlier, the oldest in the men's category for this elite group is 64 years old. Pretty impressive out here tackling this bridge run today. Now, I want to bring in Rick Rush with our radio partner, Weasel. So, Rick, you were at the Bridge Run Expo yesterday. So tell me what that was like.
Well, they gave me this. They gave me a Nutri-Grain bar and some Smart Water, so started with that. But it was packed yesterday. I mean, it really was. And the cool thing was we do something called a kindness crusade with Cruise Chevy and the Weasel, and we were able to go around and just buy people stuff like shoes. I ended up spending like $600 yesterday. My wife still doesn't know about it.
How's that going to go over?
Well, I don't know.
She probably knows now.
She's still sleeping. She runs all the time. I'm like, you should be up here doing this. Why am I doing this? I'm not going to be running it as long as I have a car payment.
All right, now I want to talk to you. You're our resident radio expert, music expert. What are you expecting for entertainment today?
I don't know. Down there sounds like somebody's dying. So I'm not sure. They're a little out of tune. I think the instruments are a little cold. But the great thing is, what is it? It's like every few miles, some more music. So this is really cool. This is something really interesting that they've added. They're really, for the 40th anniversary for the Cooper River Bridge Run, they're stepping it up. This has been a cool event, and the expo yesterday really was awesome. It was a well-oiled machine.
All right, well, thank you so much. We'll be checking back in with you. Let's see if we've got any runners coming up our way. It looks like we have some police officers. I don't see any runners just yet. But maybe in the next couple of seconds, hopefully we get somebody coming up. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago, they were at the base of the bridge, so we should be seeing them soon. But again, all of this happening right now. Music hasn't really started yet. We do know that there, like Rick just mentioned, several bands along the route. Oh, here we go. We got some runners. I don't know if you guys can see if we're zoomed in that far, but we've got about 5 or 6 group of runners coming our way. Again, this is the elite category. 5 elites from right here in South Carolina. Again, the first top 3 in the men's division from last year, back again this year. And then 1, 2, and 4 in the women's category, back again this year. And again, like we mentioned earlier, one of the oldest in the elite division is a 64-year-old from Florida, I believe. So look at him go, about to run right in front of the camera, neck and neck right now. So there you have it, the first wave of elite runners coming through right now. What time is it? 8:12. So just 12 minutes after the race started. And there we go. We got about 20 or so heading down towards the Charleston side. And you hear the music starting to pick back up as these runners head through. And hopefully soon we'll start to see thousands of more come our way. And again, you can tell from the top of the bridge today, it is absolutely beautiful out here. A fantastic day for a race. So Dean, Ashley, after this wave of runners runs by, we're going to send it back to you to see what's going on down there.
Welcome back down to Coleman Boulevard, everybody. I believe this is the Sea Wave. And it's awesome to watch these people start. One guy dressed up in a Clemson shirt, Clemson gear, followed by a guy with Gamecocks gear, screaming "Go Cox," followed by, believe it or not, a guy wearing a Gonzaga shirt and a Gonzaga hat. They tip off at 7:25 tonight. I've seen Buffalo Bills shirts, a lot of Pirates gear. I don't know where that's coming from. A lot of Pirates gear. This is the last wave coming up right here of the Sea Wave. Then we've got the next set of walkers and runners coming up right here. The guy right in the middle, I love giving Frankie Mansfield a love. He is with the Moultrie News. He is an up-and-comer, man. He is the man. Huh?
Lighthouse.
Oh, all right. Now we've got, if you look back into the crowd, we've got some costumes coming. I see lighthouses. That would be the Morris Island Lighthouse. In front of that is the Sullivan's Island Lighthouse, because geographically, that would be correct, wouldn't it? From where we're standing right here. Tammy Varn is in the bright green jacket. Tammy has been a part of this bridge run for as long as I can remember. I asked her this morning if it's time for this crew to retire. She said probably, but no way we're doing it. A lot of the city councilmen up on the catwalk here overrunning. I don't know why they're not running. I don't know why the city councilmen, Elton Carrier, Gary Santos, Mark Smith, why aren't these people running? They should be running. So let's see the bridge run flag man. That's his job, the official flag man. He's been out here since 5 o'clock this morning. One of the first guys I saw when we showed up today. It was really cool at 5 a.m. I'm not a huge fan of waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 a.m. for that matter, but to be out here and as peaceful as it was and to watch it transform into what we're seeing right now is something else. Right now we want to turn things over to over in the chase car. The battery's Andrew Bell is joining us right now to see how the leaders are looking. Andrew.
Thank you, Dean. Well, the race has split apart as we thought it might. They've gone across the 3-minute mark, the 3-mile mark in about 14 minutes, which is not particularly fast, but it will speed up now for the final 5K. And just looking at that shot, Dominic Ondoro wearing number 1. He's led this race from the gun, and he remains at the front of the pack. The Americans tucked in behind him, including Shadrach Kipchirchir, probably the most favored, wearing the number 3 bib. You really probably can't quite see him. He's just behind the purple bit of Rotich, running very clever though, and just biding his time. And of course, tucked in behind that lead runner, you are avoiding a lot of that wind pushing you around, saving some energy. So I think from an American standpoint, things going according to plan right now. From Ondoro's standpoint, well, he's, as we said, off the front, staying out of trouble, setting the pace. That's the key thing here. Ondoro setting the pace in this race as we just stride down this hill now. They really, really have hit a fine pace now, the runners coming across. If they look to their left now, they would see Charleston, the beautiful skyline, of course. We're almost to the off-ramp and approaching the 4-mile mark. We'll see if we can get you another split at the 4-mile mark. Of course, most of the time people are driving up this ramp. These runners have the privilege of coming down this way. This is one of the technical parts of the course coming up. It's a sharp left-hand turn onto Meeting Street. And really, if you talk to the elite racers, the runners, and the folks that know this sport, this is where the race really begins. Once you get down onto that flat, the last 2 miles in Charleston with the crowds really is where the race starts and where they really have to focus. I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone attack when we get round that corner. We shall see. It's Ondoro now, the Kenyan, with Rotich. Edwin Rotich, 28 years old, a fellow Kenyan, wearing the purple shirt just off his right shoulder. Rotich has got a very, very fast personal best in the 10,000 meters, 27 minutes and 28 seconds. Of course, this, although it is 10,000 meters, a completely different animal to battle. When they set those personal bests, it's in a track, in a controlled environment. Here, of course, you've got the bridge, you've got the conditions, you've got the crowd. Much, much, much more difficult. It remains Ondoro off the front with Rotich alongside him. I think I just got a glimpse of John Gray there, the American, who was setting the pace in the early going. And Shadrach Kipchirchir, the Olympian, the U.S. Army world-class elite athlete program athlete, the 28-year-old American from Colorado Springs, again, just tucked in nicely behind Ondoro. We're looking at these races yesterday, thinking about who might have a chance. Well, wouldn't it be something if Kipchirchir could do it for the United States and become the first United States runner, racer, to win this race since 1991. There's the 4-mile mark. We'll get that split for you in just a second. We have it, 18 minutes and 38 seconds. They get through the 4 miles. Just 2 miles and change to go now as we come down the steepest part of the bridge down to the Meeting Street, that left turn where a little later on many of the athletes, many of the runners will stop and take on some water. These boys will not bother with that. They have got one thought now, and that is getting to the finish line as quickly as possible. There's been a little burst of acceleration as they've come down this ramp, and the field has split once again. It now looks like we've got 4 or 5 of the elite racers who've just managed to pull ahead. John Gray has dropped off a little bit now with 3 of the others, and so the race just changing again here. Just looking to my right to have a look at the crowds. Here we have the front 5. It's Ondoro, Kipchirchir, Nebebu, Rotich, all definitely capable, certainly capable of winning this race. But to be honest with you, it's been an amazing piece of front running from Dominic Ondoro. At the gun, he was away and hasn't looked back. All right, let's send it back to Dean at the start line as the rest of the racers begin the Cooper River Bridge Run.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 40th run of the Cooper River Bridge Run. We see the elite runners on a pretty brisk pace right now. Right now, we are getting ready to welcome, I believe it is the 4th wave of runners. So basically, they split these runners up as it comes to experience, as it comes to time, and then they get running. We just saw the Sullivan's Island Lighthouse and the Morris Island Lighthouse run by. I'm not sure where they qualified or how they got into that wave, but I will tell you right now that this next wave is going to get going, so we're going to stick with this shot. It's really a cool deal watching these start. We got 2 flagmen, and off they go. Again, you see all kinds of runners, all kinds of experience out here. We're getting a little high five action. All right. Beautiful day weather-wise here. And again, the most amazing part of this experience is you stand down here, is you watch, and you look back towards Coleman Boulevard, and there's still thousands and thousands of people who are still getting ready to walk towards this line, and it's 8:20. It's really cool to be out here this morning and watch these guys. Hey, good luck, girls! 6, 7-year-old. I like your pace. I like your pace. So as we take a look. All right, here we got, how about the girl with the tutu up here? Good work, good work, good work. All right, right now we want to turn things over.
I'm surprised that the 3 back there are so separated already.
Back downtown now, and I can tell you Ondoro is still off the front, but the race has really broken down now to just 4 elite runners who have a chance now to win this race. Ondoro, who won it last year, just off his left shoulder is Getachew, who finished 2nd last year. Rotich wearing that purple vest, and then just tucked in nicely behind the 3 of them is our U.S. athlete, Shadrach Kipchirchir. The 5-mile time, the split time, 22 minutes and 56 seconds. It's pretty quick, guys. And you can see now Ondoro is just letting Rotich take the pace. The crowd cheering him on. Kipchirchir tucked in. Can he hang on here? Rotich is just accelerated. Now Getachew, and here's a technical part of the race as they make that turn onto Wolf Street. Just a few 100 yards, and then it's another quick turn onto King Street. Ondoro's taken a different line than Getachew, with Rotich and Kipchirchir behind Getachew. Now Rotich takes the lead. He's just pointing, saying, that's my line. Stay out of my way. And Rotich is going to lead us out as we make this sharp turn onto King Street. Remember, it's down King Street to Wentworth, and then 2 quick turns before the finish line. Into the final stages now of the 40th Cooper River Bridge Run. Which one of these 4 men is going to win it? Well, I can tell you it's not going to be Ondoro. He's cracked. Ondoro, after leading the race for 5 miles, has fallen off the pace here. But there is still a chance here for Kipchirchir, the American. He is running in 3rd now. No American has won this race since 1991. And we have a racer in the top 4. Look at Ondoro. The determination has pulled him back onto the shoulder of Kipchirchir as Rotich just pulls away. He doesn't want them slipstreaming him, and it's really cat and mouse at this stage. So tactical here as we make our way down King Street. And again, Rotic accelerates. And again, Ondoro unable to keep with him. He's just holding his line to the left of King Street. Kipchirchir just trying to get back onto the shoulder of Getachew. Getachew, who finished second last year, the youngster from Ethiopia, just 20 years old. Can he do one better this year? Rotic, Edwin Rotic, leading them out. 29 years old, the Kenyan. Absolutely composed. Look at the way he's running, folks. No pain at all, just pure determination and concentration. For my money, though, Kipchirchir has run the smart race here. He tucked him behind all the way up the bridge. We'll just have to see what sort of form he's in, but you would have to think that he has conserved some energy. Does he have anything left in the tank, though, to get round these two in what looks like it could be a sprint to the finish? Just away to their left now, Marion Square, the crowd starting to fill up. Of course, the big crowds won't come till a bit later on as the runners make their way over the bridge, and it remains Rotic. And I can tell you that Getachew has broken. Getachew is off the pace now. It's a two-man race here as we head into the tunnel of King Street, and the crowds cheer them on. And there is a chance, people, that Shadrach Kipchirchir, the American, running for the US Army, could win this race. It looks like it's going to be him or Rotic. Pure concentration, pure focus on Kipchirchir's face, and Rotic just having a little look there, just seeing if he's still got someone with him. The acceleration pronounced. Ondoro is now in third, Rotic in first, Kipchirchir second, Ondoro off the pace in third, last year's winner. We are going to have a new winner this year, folks. I don't think Ondoro's going to get back at them, and it remains Rotic in front. Shadrach Kipchirchir, the 28-year-old from Colorado Springs, Colorado. He ran in the Olympics, the Rio Olympics. He represented the United States last year, and he runs, of course, for the U.S. Army world-class athlete program. And here's this sharp turn now onto Wentworth. It looks like Rotic is going to have the inside track. Here we go. Rotic round the bend. Kipchirchir off his shoulder. One more bend, and then it's the finish line. There's the 6-mile mark. Let's see if we can get a time. 27:17. It's very, very quick. There's a chance, perhaps, they could get under 28 minutes, which would be really something. Right now, though, time is not what Rotic is focusing on. Or Kipchirchir, it's Rotic now. As we turn round the bend, we'll lose sight of them for a second. And it's the final few hundred meters now, once they get round onto Meeting Street from Wentworth. And it's Rotic ahead. Rotic has got the lead into the final straight. Kipchirchir off him now, and he's round him, the American. Kipchirchir opens his legs up. It looks like we're going to have a US winner. Rotic can't stay with him. It's Kipchirchir to the finish line. Rotic is not going to catch him, and the United States will capture its first Cooper River Bridge run since 1991. Congratulations to Shadrach Kipchirchir and the US Army. The 28-year-old from Colorado Springs is the champion of the Cooper River Bridge run. Let's send it to John, I think, at the finish line.
JJ, congratulations, man.
All right, in third is last year's winner.
Good, we rolling? We rolling? We rolling?
Congratulations, Dominique. Be sure to keep moving.
All right, guys, you just saw right there Shadrach from Colorado Springs coming in right there, and Olympian, we understand, as well. Very cool. There will be no 3-time for Dominic Ondoro. You can see the elite runners just crossing the finish line right there. We're trying to get a comment from Shadrach right now. Of course, obviously just running 6.5 miles. He needs a moment or two, but pretty impressive right there for Shadrach. Of course, he represented the USA at the 2016 Olympics in the 10K, so he knows this race. He was in fighting shape for it. He wanted it badly. You saw it really kind of came down to the wire between Shadrach and, of course, that gentleman right behind him. But pretty impressive stuff. He had the closing speed, and he was ready to go. We're going to try and get a comment from him right now, if you guys will follow me right over here.
Come across that finish line first.
Oh, it's great to cross the finish line fast, you know. That's the best feeling you ever get. And, you know, the guys went really hard, and I tried to hang on them, but, you know, then I said I got a kick, and I went for it. So I'm really happy to be in Charleston. Awesome crowd. The course is perfect. The weather is amazing. I love to come here back next time.